this movement reports that there was no interference and Mike Pence irresponsible. There was a rather interesting story on a plane that was heading from Los Angeles to New York. Someone from Chabbad got the pilot to don tefillin as the people were exiting the plane. They all saw the pilot wearing tefillin. The news media, which covered this event, said obviously it was a huge Kiddush Hashem, a sanctification of God's name. I don't really think so. When people see these Chabad people trying to put tefillin on everybody, the people that put them on, they look weird. Tefillin looks weird to the average observer. Unless you're Jewish, you understand the meaning behind it. I think the Chabad movement is good, that it has a lot of different places where they have minyanim for people, kosher food for people, a lot of different localities in the world. But this thing about putting on tefillin, I think, is detrimental to Judaism. Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, recently made a trip to China to try to smooth things over with the Chinese government and American-Chinese relationships, which have been very shaky at best under Joe Biden. Joe Biden hailed the trip as a major success. He says he did a hell of a job in only Joe Biden-esque like fashion. I think there's a lot more going on over here. They did report that there still will not be military cooperation between the two countries. China senses right now, with Joe Biden as president, a big weakness in America, and they're trying to exploit it along with Russia to threaten Americans' dominance over the world. It looks could be very soon that China might be stronger than the United States. An amazing story in Major League Baseball, this player from the Florida Marlins, Araaez, just hit 5 for 5 last night. He's now batting exactly 400 on the dot. If he can keep it up for the rest of the season, which will be pretty difficult to do, it'll be the first season of 400 hitter since Ted Williams did it, I believe, in 1946. I don't think he'll pull it off. It's very hard in Major League Baseball to do that. And I think the reason that you see it less and less over the years is because more people are focusing on home runs, on the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. A home run gets, scores a run automatically. A base hit, not necessarily. In the olden game, a base hit was a base hit. Nowadays, everyone's going for the home run. So I don't think he's going to end up with the 400 average, or anyone for that matter, anytime soon. I saw an interview with Grant Cardone, who's a famous business enthusiast, tries to earn as much money as possible. He called out Dave Ramsey. He said Dave Ramsey just speaks for people in the middle class who want to pay off their debts and live a middle class life. He says no one should aim for a middle class lifestyle, and I agree with him on that 100%. You should aim to become a rich person. But then he went on to say that although he owns 2 homes, he regrets owning 2 homes. Why? Because he spent all the money. He could have been living, I don't know where he's going to live, but he could have been living, I don't know, in a hotel or a motel, and could have turned that money into an investment. I think you have to strike some sort of balance. Yes, you want to be rich, but at the same time, you want to own your own home. You want to have peace of mind. You want to enjoy life a little bit also. So there's 2 extremes. You got to find somewhere in the middle. MrBeast revealed on Twitter that although he oftentimes gives advice to other YouTubers on how to succeed, his blueprint for succeeding on YouTube, he's actually a little upset that a lot of YouTubers have taken that advice and basically cloned exactly what he's done in order to achieve success. Their channels and their shows on their channels resemble his prototype very similarly. I agree with him on this point. Every YouTuber really should, forge their own path. You can get tips and advice from him, but you want it to be your own stuff, your own direction, your own content, because at the end of the day, making videos has to be something you're going to enjoy. If you're going to do it for the long term, especially to earn a living off of it, it has to be something you enjoy, to bring your unique personality to the table. And by copying other people's work, eventually the enthusiasm is going to dry up.